Just lift it up. Lift.
The wizard, Harry.
Craziest part to me about the studio tours, they're literally in the middle of like a neighborhood. You would think that this thing would be like packed full of people. Like the part where you actually enter to go into the studio tour is actually in a much more like quieter area. The minute we park the car, you start to see the characters, you start to kind of get into it, you're on the property, you feel like, oh, you're like, feel like the magic is coming, like, right? Like I stepped into the parking lot with like Daffy Duck and I was just like, oh, like we're here. Boom, like, you know, we're in the Warner Brothers property. I feel like it's that Disney effect, right? I like that, it was pretty cool. If you know Warner Brothers, they got the Harry Potter stuff, they got all the DC superheroes, they got a lot of properties under their belt, you know? Take the elevator down, you walk into like the Hollywood Studios lobby area, you go to Starbucks, grab yourself a little snack, right? You walk through the merchandise, you check out if you wanna buy anything. Then once your tour is ready to get going, you just check in real quick, you go in. I don't have footage of like the whole thing because you can't record some things and I don't necessarily wanna give away any of the surprises. They line you up and they put you through like this experience, right? We'll say they're like a showing basically. They grab you, they adopt you, and they dip you in the magic and they just send you out on their very way. And tickets were about like 70, 80 bucks. For the most part, you go outside and then they have like these little trolley cars and they drive you for the majority of it and they drive you through like all the sets. They're teaching you the history of like Warner Brothers, and if you like Friends and everything like that, like the show, like boom, I'll put a thing right here of Friend, me sitting on the Friends chair and the Friends fountain, boom. It's really cool as they're driving you around, they're showing you the sets and they're also giving you the background, the lore of all the shows that were filmed here. Other studios come in and they use these sets as well too. They show you the sets that are like facade sets and they show you like real sets of where like they can actually film and what they transform them to. What I thought was really cool was to see how they transform the sets to basically do whatever they want. A lot of the sets, they'll bear them. They'll even take the door handles off so people can come in and you fully customize the set to however you want. It's really cool. And they were giving you a lot of background of like specific actors that were in specific spots at certain times. Shout out to the tour guide. I was a tour guide in college, but this tour guide just knew everything about Warner Brothers. Like it was insane. At one point they'll park the car, you can get out and walk around, you can walk onto a real set. That was actually really cool as well too, to walk around a set and to like walk into like the building and like look up and like see like, damn, that's not a real room, or that's not really a real ceiling, or that's how that car ran through freaking the glass. You know what I mean? Like, and it really is a lot of camera editing magic, because then you go on set, you're like, oh, it looks cool, like it's well kept, but like, damn, there really isn't anything there. So it kind of ruins the magic a little bit, but it's realistic, you know, I guess. And then eventually the tour, it'll take you to an area and it's self-guided and you can go and walk around in one of the areas after all the Friends stuff. My favorite part, which was all the DC superheroes, and they brought us to animation and action and adventure. I really wanted to see all the Batman stuff, like the Batmobile, like all from the Dark Knight. Just to see that, I was like, my mind was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna go bananas. And they have all the Harry Potter stuff, and all the Harry Potter stuff was so fucking cool. Go to this tour like during like the week when they're actually working. You probably would actually see people around. We went like on the weekends, so there's no one really working. They really did integrate the tour into the actual workspace that people that work there are actually like, they're recording the sets live. To actually be there, I was like, bro, a whole other level. For real, like Hollywood magic is real. They brought us to one of like the live audience areas. They'll pilot like new shows and they'll bring a live audience in. The writers are trying to see like, did this joke land, and try to see if this show is worthy of a season, if they're gonna chop it or not. To see all the sound rooms and the clothing and stuff like that, like really cool tour. I'd say it's probably about like a 2 to 3 hour ordeal, and that's the base package. Once our tour was done, went to the Superman experience, which was an extra like, I think like 20 bucks, and own a separate exhibit. They bring you into the Fortress of Solitude, and it's got all the Superman stuff in there, like you get to make your own character. I don't wanna spoil it too much. You're gonna go in there and have a great time. This is definitely for a person who's into movies. You gotta be a movie fan. Like a Warner Brothers movie fan, definitely should go, for sure, absolutely. If you're not really into movies like that, or like into the nerdy backstory and stuff like that, you're probably not gonna vibe with this. You know, if you're going to LA for more like shopping and stuff like, you might not like this type of stuff. You gotta be really into that, the movie culture and pop culture, to really kind of appreciate this. I'm not a big merch guy, but they got a really cool merch shop. I would say they got a lot of cool stuff in there, comic books, everything like that. Super fire. Superman, Daily Planet, so I got, because I needed a little journal, so I got this. This was pretty cool. I'll probably give the Warner Brothers tour 8 Mr. Schneefies out of 10. I think it was worth the money, and the Superman experience was a cool add-on. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you've been to any of these studio tours, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.